A very warm welcome to part 2. So, what is the Deputy President up to? Because there are those who are saying that if he was serious, the Jubilee Asili party, or another party by another name, would have already been duly registered as a political party as we speak. But all he's doing is playing games on Twitter, and designing new logos for political parties that remain unregistered. In my view, and based on what we have heard in the past from DP Ruto's camp, he is not going to leave Jubilee empty-handed. You and your wife have built up your home together. You have accumulated property together. And now that you want a divorce, you want her to leave, and leave you with your property intact, with everything that you have accumulated together still with you. And you want her to go out there into the cold, cruel world and start from scratch. And yet she's older and less beautiful. No way! She'll not accept that. In fact, even a 50-50% split of your property and assets is not enough for her. Because in her view, you are so slow. You are not as skilled as she was. She was the main contributor in accumulating all the wealth you enjoy today. Without her, you would not have been where you are today. I firmly believe that this is the mindset of the Deputy President. And this is further confirmed when we see a name like Jubilee Asili floated. Asili means the original. In other words, what the Deputy President is telling us is that he is the most responsible person who should have most of the credit for the Jubilee Party as we know it today. And therefore, other people should leave the party, not him. And therefore, his latest moves are most probably designed to put pressure on the other party to forget about the Jubilee name and to move on. And after all, President Uhuru Kenyatta is serving his second and final term as president. And so Ruto needs Jubilee, the party, more than the president does. In my view, there's also another political game the Deputy President is playing. He is talking about the promises made to the electorate in 2013 and in 2017. This tells us very clearly that in 2022, a major part of his campaign will be telling voters that the last Jubilee government of 10 years did not deliver. But I am going to deliver on what you were promised in 2013 and in 2017. That is the position of the Deputy President. But what about Team Keleweke and the President's camp? Number one, they're in no mood for any games, even political ones. They did their thing in the Senate, they've done their thing in the National Assembly, and there's still one or two other nasty surprises they have for the DP Ruto camp. And so you can be sure there is no panic, absolutely zero panic in State House. Instead, there is scheming and maybe even fast-tracking some of the tools and weapons targeted at the Deputy President and his camp. Team Keleweke have very successfully positioned the Deputy President as the most corrupt individual ever to make an appearance in Kenyan politics. And that is something which most people never recover from. And so they cannot be worried about the Deputy President or what he's doing. They could even easily leave the Jubilee Party to him. They have bigger fish to fry, bigger projections, bigger targets than to fight over a piece of paper. That is the registration certificate of the Jubilee Party. But because they are not in any mood to show any favors to the Deputy President, they may do a little huffing and puffing. They may complain, But you can be sure if they do that, it'll be purely diversionary. Yeah, tactics to divert attention away from what they're really doing, which will be really damaging to the deputy president. However, there's a problem. Something has happened, that was completely unexpected. And this is this virus crisis. And more important, the effects it has had on Kenyans. Today I heard Moses Wetangula say that Kenyans are very tired of this government that has taken away their livelihoods. This government that does not care as Kenyans are suffering. Now, there's a major problem here. It is true that the virus is a global problem. Nothing to do with the Kenyan government. However, politics is about perception. And right now, a vast majority of Kenyans have not seen this disease. They have heard that it is now in State House. They have heard that it hit a country called Italy very hard. They have heard that it's killing a lot of people in the US, but they have not seen it. And to make matters worse, there's another fear that has come in very quickly and overtaken any fear Kenyans may have had for the virus. And this thing is hunger, famine, lack of food, the ability of Kenyan families to put food on the table regularly. That is what most Kenyans are fearing. Many others are very scared of being kicked out of their houses because they have not paid rent since this virus struck. Now that is the perfect environment to pick a scapegoat who sticks in the minds of voters. And Wetangula has shown us today that scapegoat is going to be the government of Kenya. When you're looking for votes, you look for the most effective tactic to find those votes. You look for something that is affecting everybody. And this virus crisis, the aftermath, the effects, the consequences are perfect. And it seems that already those who are against this government have picked up on it. The only thing still holding them back is fear of the powerful Western people behind promoting this virus. Nobody wants to be a target of a CIA operation, if you know what I mean. But I predict there are various factors conspiring to bring that fear to an end. And you can be sure when that happens, the government will be fully blamed for the way they handled the whole matter. And people will keep on pointing to the country called Tanzania. In other words, this virus manenos has had a huge impact on Kenyan politics. An impact that will very shortly unfold because we're yet to see it. But you can be sure, with the words of Moses Wetangula today, his words were only the beginning, of something that will be very clear to Kenyans in the weeks and months to come. In other words, circumstances are rapidly changing. And had these circumstances not changed, the deputy president would have been buried, removed from politics very effectively and efficiently. But sadly, now that will not be possible. If you follow the news in Kenya closely, you will already know that mumblings have started all over the place. As we speak, long-distance truck drivers are on strike. Small protests against the lockdowns and restrictions have started. I'm going to bore you by repeating something that I've said here too many times. The biggest weapon for political change by far is an organ in the human body called the stomach. If too many of the people you govern are finding it increasingly difficult to put food on the table, then you have a huge political problem. You can form as many political alliances with as many tribes in Kenya as you want, but they're all for nothing, because at the end of the day, it'll all boil down to the hungry citizens of your country. We have seen this political truism repeated in history again and again and again. Because when people are hungry, tribe is not as important as it was when they had eaten, when they had a full stomach. Folks, prepare for a new political reality in Kenya, where DP Ruto, the Jubilee Party, Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka will not be as important as the people. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.